Hello, hello. How are you doing today? This is an impromptu, just an update on the whole coronavirus thing because I have not done one of these videos in a long, long time. And some of the stuff that's starting to come out about numbers being falsely reported, all kind of stuff. Um, it's just it's going to start unraveling soon. So anyway, but today's topic, very quickly, even though I'm inside in air conditioning, I still want to keep this quick because I haven't eaten today and I'm hungry. Priorities. What I wanted to talk about today is masks. What I have loved seeing is more and more people not wearing their masks because what I have seen from the collective is I have seen people wearing masks when they're walking by themselves and there's no one around. People wearing masks when they're out in nature, people wearing masks when they're by themselves in their car. So I have not worn a mask and I'm not going to because I will not be silenced. Trust me. If my mother in the Catholic Church could not silence me, the rest of these people sure aren't going to. But what I am noticing is that people are going into businesses and they're not wearing their mask, or they're wearing their mask and it's like down here. And I'm like, y'all, just stop already. So one of the things, though, that really has amazed me is that when I walk into businesses and they say, "Oh, ma'am, do you have your mask?" I say, "Oh, no, I'm exempt, but thank you for the information." And I keep walking. I walk right on in. And the only time I have been stopped and questioned was at the gym, which I thought was hilarious because I was going to swim. They wanted me to wear a mask from where I walked into the door and I got to the lane, the swimming lane that I was going to swim in. They wanted me to wear a mask. And then, of course, you don't wear a mask when you swim. And the pool is a big vat of chlorine anyway. So I didn't understand this, but yeah, I did this for 3 days when Mississippi first started implementing the law about wearing masks as mandatory. And if you want information on how it's not actually mandatory, I will be happy to go through that. But yeah, so 3 days in a row, I got stopped as I was walking in, because they have to check your temperature, which I don't mind them doing. You have to sign in because you have to reserve a lane. So you have to sign in. You're like, okay, whatever. But then the third day I said, I'm exempt and kept walking. She said, yeah, about that, my manager would like to speak with you. So then literally as she's finishing that sentence, the manager comes out. So obviously she was like waiting for me to come for my scheduled swim time. And she said, oh, well, she said, yeah, you have to wear a mask, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, no, I'm exempt, but thank you for the information. She said, oh, well, do you have your medical card? So she was going to think that, because it's a gym, that if somebody can't do something, it's for medical reasons, like an injury or something like that. And I said, no, I said, I'm exempt because of my religious beliefs. And she went, she didn't know what to do because the YMCA, the YWCA, these are Christian organizations, right? And I know this. And I said, my religious beliefs. And she just kind of looked and I said, unless you're going to discriminate against me for my religious beliefs, tell me now. And she was just like, she said, well, just, maintain 6 feet social distance. I said, absolutely, of course. And I kept walking, went to my lane. They've never bothered me since. I claimed my sovereignty, made my boundary. I'm not doing this. And haven't had a problem with it. And what I really thought was interesting is that even at the Y, the lifeguards don't wear masks. They can't, because that's if somebody needed help, what are they supposed to do? Like stop and rip off their mask or whatever it is. That could actually inhibit them from saving somebody. So the lifeguards don't wear masks. And even when, I've seen this manager herself and they're all talking in a group, they don't wear masks. Because people know instinctively, they know this is bullshit. And what I'm seeing with kids, making children wear masks, this is horrible. You know, I just, I'm so glad I don't have a child in elementary, even high school age school anymore, because if I did, you know, I might seriously homeschool her because of all of this. What they're going to be doing to the children psychologically is way worse than them getting a cold from, you know, the coronavirus, which is a family of viruses that you know, give us, you know, the cold and the flu, which we've all had. So this is just a little encouragement for you, for those of you who want to maintain your sovereignty, to stay in your power, to not believe the mainstream bullshit. Because remember, if it comes across the mainstream media, somebody's making a lot of money off that. And, you know, there's been a kerfuffle with the CDC reporting and what their update to their death statistics actually means. Feel free to research that, because we're going to probably get a second wave of fear within the next month or two. And it would be really great if you could go ahead and claim your sovereignty now and get used to claiming your sovereignty, so that you're not feeling torn between what you know instinctively and then what the media is trying to sell you, because ultimately that's all it is. They're trying to sell you something. Somebody, lots of somebodies are making a lot of money off this coronavirus thing. Is coronavirus real? Yes. Is it a hoax? No. Coronavirus actually exists. It's a family of viruses that give us the cold and the flu. The people who are most susceptible to COVID-19 are people who already have a compromised immune system. So stay healthy. And if you get COVID-19, if it develops into COVID-19, then you take your HCQ and your zinc and your turmeric and you take your antibiotic, and you should very well be fine. Vitamin D, electrolytes, because the COVID-19 really does zap your potassium, from several people who I know who've had it. And so, you know, so this is just a little something to remind you to please stay in your sovereignty. The mask thing is ridiculous. And by law, look at the state law, look at your city laws, and look at how they worded it. If they said shall, the citizens, residents, whatever they call you, right, shall wear a mask, blah, 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 then it's not legally mandatory. They have to say must. Residents must. That's the only legal determination for making something mandatory. And the Supreme Court has already had a judgment on the word, what word means must, like mandatory. So if the laws, city, state, county laws say that you shall wear a mask, shall has been determined by the Supreme Court already that shall means may. It does not mean mandatory. If they want something mandatory, the laws have to say must, but they're not going to. You know why? Because the government intentionally blocking citizens' airways, ways to breathe and have fresh air over the mass population, could absolutely be seen as crimes against humanity. So I would really suggest you look at that. Look at the laws. How are the laws being written by the city and state that you live in? And you can always claim religious exemption. You don't have to have a medical card for that. You don't have to have any kind of card. And thankfully for me, you know, I did a show here on my YouTube years ago about spirituality, the difference between spirituality and religion. And I specifically talked about the root form of spirit from Latin, which means to breathe. So I'm covered. I've got my paper trail, as it were, about how important breath is to me in my spiritual practice and my yogic practice and my tantric practice. You want to become breatharian real fast, you go right ahead. The masks are not actually mandatory, because then the governmental agencies, cities, state, whatever, could be up for lawsuits later for blocking the ability to breathe of its citizens. And so I haven't worn a mask. I'm not going to. So I just want to encourage all of you, please do your research, stay in your sovereignty, and get information that is accurate, but not from the mainstream, or at least ask who profits from telling you that information. And yes, please look again at the CDC and the numbers that they recently adjusted. And I bet we're going to see some more adjustments to those numbers. So anyway, I will leave that to you, because it is your job to do the research for yourself. That's how you stay in your power. That's how you maintain your sovereignty. Do the research for yourself. Okay? All right. 11:11 right there. Boom. All right. I'm going to go. I love you. I love you all. I'm going to be doing some more lives soon. Stay tuned. As always, I'm very grateful for my new subscribers and my old subscribers too. And the subscribers who come back. I'm very grateful that you come back, and of course the thumbs up and all that jazz. It all means a lot. It's all different algorithms for YouTube, so I appreciate it. And I'm hopefully going to get a new phone soon, so then this will be a much better presentation overall. And bookshelves. All right. I love y'all. I will see you soon for another live sex question. So be thinking about the questions that you'd like to ask. All right. Y'all take care. Bye.